Welcome to the Stack Supplement Podcast, the premier source for supplement news and reviews.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Stack Supplement Podcast, where we run down all of the top stories and exciting announcements here on our website from the past 7 days. And as I mentioned in last week's episode, the newsfeed was jam-packed full of excitement, mostly, if not primarily, coming from the Stack Supplement Expo, which took place from Monday last week through to midnight Sunday. And I think we even shared some of the top stories that we shared on the first day on the website in last week's episode. That included the big reveal of Ghost's Bubblicious Ghost Energy Drink. There were a few other payer items we announced on that day, but also among the big releases from the expo was Full Tilt. Now this is a pre-workout from CMP, who this time last year introduced a special edition pre-workout in the form of Stim Junkie. It was quite impressive, at least in terms of edginess and the kind of ingredients you got in the formula, considering CMP is such a legacy, well-known mainstream brand. And Full Tilt is kind of intended to be CMP's follow-on from that. Not necessarily a sequel or a replacement, but sort of the same kind of direction, where they've got an edgier set of ingredients, more of a competitive approach. But we actually had an interview with one of the guys from CMP earlier this year, and he mentioned it was intended to be a more balanced, varied, broad experience compared to Stim Junkie. They launched it at the Stack Supplement Expo, and the formula kind of came through. Well, not kind of, it was revealed along with the expo, along with the launch, and it was reigned true. Yeah, so the idea behind it was to make it a more balanced and varied experience, and Full Tilt is indeed that, at least compared to Stim Junkie. But in saying that, those two supplements do share a lot of the same ingredients. A full serving of Full Tilt, you get 3.2 grams of beta-alanine to support performance, 3 grams of creatine monohydrate. Juniper berry is in there as well, along with 350 milligrams of caffeine, as well as teacrine, estrogen, bioperine. Which again, some of those are from the that original pre-workout from last year, Stim Junkie. Although Full Tilt is most notably missing DMHA, which was in Stim Junkie. But again, it has to make it, I guess, a little more balanced. There are some things you don't get in Stim Junkie that you do in Full Tilt, creatine being one of them. And so that product is out now in the UK. It's got I think it's 4 rather creative flavors, including gator juice and sour sauces, and you pick it up for about £30, which works out to somewhere in the realm of $40 to $45 US, and you get 30 full servings per tub. You can read a little more about that one on our website, but we now shoot to, because as mentioned, there was a lot of news last week, but we now shoot to some more news that came out of the UK, and this was a pretty big one, I felt, not necessarily in terms of the whole industry and scale, but the brand that did it definitely caught our attention. So Razorwire, a fellow UK company like CMP, is a gaming supplement company. Like we've seen a few other supplement brands that have surfaced over the past couple of years, that focuses primarily on supplements for gamers and esports and sort of categories that branch off that, such as focus, productivity, and energy. And so Razorwire has the one supplement available called Gaming Fuel, and like most gaming supplements, it is geared towards enhancing energy and focus to help gamers and performance and esports and whatnot. This past week, Razorwire launched a beverage version, and I thought I was really quite surprised, not just because a company this, I guess, young, up and coming still was able to put together a beverage, because it's not an easy thing to do, from what I hear from other brands, but they were able to launch it, and most interestingly is the formula behind it isn't overly loaded, not at least in terms of like Ghost Energy and stuff like that, but at the same time, that's kind of what you get fairly frequently with energy drinks. You get enough ingredients to kind of give you that energy and focus boost. not enough to power you through a workout. And keep in mind, when it comes to RTDs, they're never going to be as cost effective as buying a bulk tub of 30 servings in powder form. But so the formula isn't supremely loaded. You get 1.25 of taurine, 250 milligrams of green tea, 200 milligrams of theanine, and 150 milligrams of caffeine, and 125 of N-acetyl-L-tyrosine. So pine bark is in there as well. And so it's kind of just a nice light blend of ingredients to give you enough to give you that energy and focus push. Now, it's not loaded, but the thing I thought was really cool is that formula is practically identical to that of the original powder. If you're a fan of Razor Wire Energy, you can check out the website. Their regular gaming fuel supplement has all of those ingredients. So it has the 1.25 grams of taurine, 250 green tea, 200 theanine, and 150 caffeine. The only difference is, and actually, sorry, I got the first energy drink wrong. The energy drink does not have pine bark. That's the powder. The powder has pine bark, but in its place, the energy drink has N-acetyl-L-tyrosine. So it's quite a consistent, familiar formula. And I kind of like that consistency, because a lot of the time brands will do an RTD version of a drink, RTD version of a powder, and very rarely you'll see a powder version of an RTD, but they're very different. A lot of the time they're noticeably different. I like how Razor Wire has kept things pretty much the same. And I'm not a huge fan of the small variety of ingredients in their gaming supplement, up against some of our favorites like Brain Bridge and our top-rated focus supplement, Brain Gains. But I do appreciate how they've managed to keep it the same. Like I said, that consistency, it's kind of cool in its own way. I still would have preferred more ingredients, but I like how they're going to give back to their fans. So if you're a fan of the original gaming powder supplement, you're going to pretty much like the benefits of the energy drink, let alone the whole taste carbonated component. But you're going to like the energy drink because it has practically all of the same key ingredients, bar that change of pine bark for N-acetyl-L-tyrosine. So it's pretty cool consistency wise, and again, it's a big leap for a company that's still quite young to dive into that realm. G Fuel did it, but G Fuel's obviously the leader of the space. So you can check that out. It's on it's on our page. The product is available now. It is a UK brand, so obviously not going to be as easy to get a hold of. And the cost of the drink isn't too bad. They sell them individually in singles, in packs of 6, and then the full case of 12. The case of 12 is obviously the more cost-effective route, and it'll cost you £23.5, which works out to be about 33 US. So you can check that out on our website for a bit more information. We now shoot to some of the other big stories that dropped last week, and one of those was Redcon 1, who the last time we saw at least launch an entirely new product, you'd have to go back a while. Now they have previewed a lot over the past few months. Redcon 1's teased its purified alkaline water hydration, the peanut butter based Redcon 1 bar, which has a lot of promises for it, and even the RTD version of its hydration supplement Canteen. None of those have become available as of yet, so still the most products, or the usual product we've seen from the brand lately, has been flavor extensions, not so much entirely new products. But yeah, they announced an entirely new supplement this past week in Warzone, and now Warzone is going to be a muscle building product, and it'll be interesting to see how at least the formula unfolds and turns out. If you're a fan of Redcon 1 or a regular user, you will know they have plenty of supplements already in the muscle building category, and so to see them kind of introduce another one that I have to imagine has its own point of difference, it'll be cool how it diversifies itself. And knowing Redcon 1, you'll be able to stack this with the rest of its muscle building lineup. I guess that's one of the cool things about when you buy supplements within the one brand. They're all kind of designed to work together. It's incredibly rare that you get overlap, especially muscle builders within brand. But that one's coming soon. And looks interesting. And the next one we have comes from the extra we have comes from Performax Labs, who is one of my personal favorite brands, mostly because they've been incredibly reliable and effective since we first tried them. Hypermax, which is Performax Labs pre-workout, has been at the top of our top 5 list on a couple of occasions. I think once or twice it's been the leader, and it's just had a hard time. Sorry, it's not hard time. People have had a hard time topping it. And brands have, there have been competitors that obviously knocked it down. Our current number 1 is Devastator of the Union from Inspired, but before that was Hypermax. I think before that was a version of Devastator, and then before that we had Hypermax again. This past week, Performax Labs took part in our Stack Supplement Expo like a lot of other brands, and it put in a teaser on its page. So alongside its deal on stacks and individual products, there was a teaser, and all it really said was something big is coming. And it had a little bit of a quote in there as well, saying, tearing away our conventional pursuits to reveal our hardcore roots. So it's a very mysterious, intriguing teaser line photo with no real detail on what's coming, but all we know is that it's something large and it's something big, and Performax never teases anything. So even though we don't have a whole lot of detail right now, it would be good to assume that whatever Performax has coming, it is going to be, I guess, brand directing or brand changing, and it's going to be worth paying attention to. Performax is indeed one of the most reputable, respectable, effective brands out there. So when it says something big is coming, it's not likely to be an exaggeration or anything. It's likely to be the truth, and it should be something worth looking out for. I know we'll have more details on that soon, and whatever it is said to be coming out in summer. So that season is pretty much underway. So I would say at least whatever we have coming our way will be shared or teased or had more details within the next few weeks, couple months. For the next story, we shoot over to Chemical Warfare, who had quite a bit to show at this year's Stack Supplement Expo. It said it would be teasing and revealing some supplements at the Stack Supplement Expo, and that is indeed what it did. It showed off fresh new versions of its pre-workouts, the Bomb and Nitro Pump, and that also showed a new version of Intrasurgence, which is the brand's amino supplement. And we posted all the formulas on our website, a lot for the Bomb and Nitro Pump, and got links to both of them as well. But they're both pretty solid follow-ups to the originals. They stay true to pretty much the first versions. The first versions were of the Bomb was intended to be a comprehensive stimulant pre-workout, delivering on fronts of energy, focus, pumps, and performance. And then Nitro Bomb was Nitro Pump was intended to be a stackable version, or a stimulant-free version that people could have by itself or with the Bomb, and it focused more on delivering better focus and better pumps. Those are the cases for the new versions of the Bomb and Nitro Pump. The difference is obviously they have fresh new formulas. Just to give you a bit of a rundown on the supplements, the Bomb again still has a good amount of stimulants to power you through. In a full serving, full 2-scoop serving, with 20 of those per tub, you get 800 milligrams of alpha GPC, which is a pretty solid dose. Typically, you see it more in that 600 realm. 7 grams of citrulline malate, 3.5 of beta-alanine, a gram of taurine, 2.5 betaine, 50 milligrams of teocrine, 400 milligrams of caffeine, which is split between Infinergy dicaffeine malate and regular caffeine anhydrous, and N-acetyl L-tyrosine is in there as well. A few other ingredients kind of round it out, but they definitely have full doses of reliable ingredients for those promises of energy, focus, pumps, and performance. Now, for the other updated supplement from Chemical Warfare, Nitro Pump, it's pretty much, the formula is very much the same, surprisingly very much the same. It just has less of the ingredients to support energy and performance, and more for that focus and pump side, which again are its key benefits. And this one can still stack with the bomb. However, Chemical Warfare notes that the new Nitro pump is intended to be, if you're going to stack it with the bomb, you have one scoop of Nitro pump and one of the bomb. So not full doses of both. And that's quite interesting and makes sense, because a lot of the ingredients that are in the bomb are in Nitro pump, specifically citrulline. It has that one has 7 grams citrulline malate. Nitro pump has 6 grams of pure citrulline. So there is some overlap. Betane's in there, just like the other one. S7 is in there as well. S7 in Nitro pump is 150 milligrams, while S7 in the bomb is 100. So there are some overlapping areas, but most of all, they're indeed improved versions of their predecessors and are loaded with ingredients to do what they set out to do. And again, that's energy focus pumps performance on the bomb side, and then it focus and pumps on the Nitro pump side. You can check out the formulas in more detail for yourself on our website. Just type in Chemical Warfare or any of those product names. We now shoot to Rise, the electric, entertaining, interesting, and always attractive lifestyle brand that came to market a couple years ago, maybe a few years ago. It's done some pretty interesting stuff in its time on the market, but this past week it did something, again, a brand first, something the brand hadn't done before, and that was a collaboration. Collaborations are obviously a lot more common than they were a few years ago. Ghost was kind of the pioneer behind that, and we've seen several partnerships between brands and companies outside of the fitness industry. Ghost, again, being one of the biggest for that, with Warheads, Sour Patch Kids, Bubblicious. I mean, they've got a laundry list now, but Rise announced its big one last week, and it is with the iconic orange drink, Sunny D. And the two have come together, Rise and Sunny D, to create a flavor of the Project Blackout series pre-workout from Rise, with a new flavor called Tangy Original. The label of the product itself has been given that kind of whole Sunny D theme, so it's not like it's the same Project Blackout branding with a little bit of Sunny D or logo or influence at the bottom. It is pretty much a full takeover of the Sunny D theme and extended through to the flavor. You can check that out on our website. It's due to release soon. But the next two stories we have to close out this podcast. First up, we have Bpi Sports, who has really, much like Rise did, come out with a surprise announcement this week, and it is a collaboration, but not the kind we're used to seeing. As I mentioned, we've seen partnerships between brands, sports nutrition brands, and companies outside of the supplement realm or nutrition realm, and that is, but a lot of those have been food brands or even ambassadors and stuff like that. This week we saw Bpi team up with Fast and Furious, obviously the action-packed blockbuster film franchise starring Vin Diesel, and so they kind of teamed up with Fast and Furious Bpi, and they've created special edition versions of two of its supplements. One of them is 1 Rep Max, and One More Rep, and the other one is Best Aminos. And so it's kind of partnered with them on special flavors. For Best Aminos, the flavor is Fruit Punch, and then 1 More Rep, it is Berry Blast. As far as I know, or as far as the brand's promoted it, the ingredients are the same as the original regular versions. So same formula for 1 More Rep, same for Best Aminos. The key difference is that that Fast and Furious theme is extended across the label, and they are both special edition products, limited edition products. So you're not going to be able to always get these. And on the topic of availability, you can currently only buy them from Walmart. The Bpi Sports has decided to make them sort of an exclusive, so you're not going to find them at Bpi's online store or even any of its usual supplement specialist retail stockists. But you can check that out on the website. It's a pretty cool collaboration. Pretty cool to see the Bpi get in with a movie, especially like Fast and Furious, and it has been timed with the launch of the latest entry in the film franchise Fast and Furious 9, which is due to hit cinemas later this week. I believe it's on Friday. It's due to hit cinemas in the US this Friday, and it's already out in a lot of countries around the world. The last story we have is actually related or in connection to the interview we did last week with Alex McRae, longtime friend from Man Sports. He jumped on. He actually did an interview last year with me, and I felt really bad because the way we had set up the interview, it was one of our earlier ones, and I basically recorded nothing, recorded myself, and then recorded him, and nothing ended up on his end. So I knew we had to get one back in the books, and he came on last week to do just that, and he had a lot to say. We went in and talked about several topics, several different areas of Man Sports, mostly about what it's kind of achieved over the past year with its big rebrand and among the COVID-19 pandemic. But he shared a bunch of other little interesting details about upcoming products. And you can, if you listen to the interview, you'll get them all, but we also include them in a bit of a story. Firstly, Man Sports is launching BrainBridge Elevate this coming week. Now, this is an important release because BrainBridge has been one of our top focus supplement in the past, and BrainBridge Elevate is intended to be a more intense version. They didn't explain to me how it's going to be more intense or kind of what ingredients have been put in to make it more intense, just that the experience is more potent, more powerful than the original. Alongside that, Man Sports confirmed that its sister brand or its spin-off brand Nutritox is working on a vegan-friendly protein powder. That's due to drop soon as well. And on the Man Sports side again, it is working on a high-protein snack. Now, Man Sports did note this is intended to be more of like a snack bar that's high in protein rather than your traditional kind of, it's a high-protein bar, 20 grams, whatever. It's a flavor-first snack. So the brand has said that it'll be sort of, I guess instead of going the route of we need 20 grams of protein, let's make it taste as good as possible, they've kind of played with the macros and then just been like, look, this tastes amazing, get the macros. So it seems like they've gone flavor first, texture first, experience first, not so much the nutrition and macros. But Man Sports is making this thing sound pretty damn amazing. I'm going as far as saying it's one of the better ones out there. I'm very interested to see it, not just because of the promises the brand's making, but notably it'd be the first edible product from Man Sports, and we've known the brand for 10 years or so. So it would be very cool to see them enter that space and see what they bring to the table. They sent me samples, and we'll be as nice as normal when we get them in. But I'm interested to see how that turns out. I don't know when that's launching. That's still kind of down the line from what Man Sports was saying. But we are still at the stage where we don't really have any ingredient details or macros and stuff like that. So it is early stages, but definitely something worth getting excited about. We'll share more information when we get it, especially when we get our hands on the bar itself. But that was the wrap up last week. Make sure you stay tuned to the website for the latest news and announcements. And we are planning an interview for later this week. I've gotten pretty good and consistent. We did have 2 planned for last week, but one ended up having didn't end up making it due to working, and we will begin that back on the books this week. I believe it's either going to be Applied Nutrition with our friends at over there in the UK, or we'll have Mark Glazier on from Unbound, which should be a great conversation, especially since he's going to be talking all about Unbound, his new, more advanced hardcore brand, with Nitro being his other flagship brand. But thank you for tuning in, and look forward to having you again next time.